Ricky Glaser here, and today we are going to be counting down my top 7 craziest skateboarding tricks. Number 7 brings us to the beautiful Sydney, Australia. There's this nice skate spot called Martin Place in the middle of the city. People always skate these 3 stairs. They tend to go down them. Sheckler had a little line in almost round 3. But what I was thinking is I could go up them. You know, you don't see too many people go up them. So what I was planning to do was just kickflip, kickflip, kickflip up, and then boom. So hyped on that. That would be really cool. So what's hard to see with this clip is the hill is actually really steep. So the ground is really smooth and you roll well, but I'm going up such an incline. So to get enough speed to go up all 3 in one push or one caveman was actually really challenging. So first I just kind of started feeling out the timing of getting the speed and getting the first kickflip. And it took me a little bit to get it organized, but once I did, then I was kind of ready to try to hit the next few sets. Once I was feeling good with that, I was pretty sure that I was going to be able to do it. You know, kickflip over 3 sets is not too hard, but running and then doing them real quick and quick feeded, it was quite challenging. So after landing the second one a couple times, I managed to get it through. I'm really hyped how it turned out. What's funny with this is all I was trying to do was go up. I didn't even consider going back down, but after I landed, I was like, oh, I might as well just kickflip back down all of them. That would be kind of cool. And then as soon as I get to the last one, I was like, I gotta do the double. And I can't believe that it worked out and I landed it. If I bailed that, I would have still ran the clip just going up. Number 6 is still in Sydney to another famous spot called Chiefly Plaza. There's a lot of things to skate there, but people mainly skate over this bench that is skate stop that you can't really grind anymore. So I was just messing around doing a couple of nollies over it. And what I was really thinking is like, man, if I could kind of nollie over it and I go fast enough, there's no reason that I couldn't do a nollie late flip over it. I just need to make sure that I got pop high enough and I get the board out of the way of the bench. You know, it's a big bench, but it's not too high. It's not too unreasonable. So I started trying to get the flick, which was proven to be pretty hard. It's kind of hard to clear the bench and then get the flick. But after a while, I did manage to get the flicks in there. And then as soon as I spun it over, I was like, oh, there's no way I can't do this. So then I just had to go through it, battle it out, keep getting that flick, and eventually it came through. Yeah, and I stopped in front of the wall quite well too. I was worried that I was gonna like really step off or something, but I'm hyped on the way that I power slid into the wall. Number 5, I was recovering from an ankle injury, so I wasn't skating too seriously, and my physiotherapist actually told me that skipping or jump rope is good for the recovery. So I just had this jump rope in my bag to warm up. Then I was like, oh, wouldn't it be fun to just try to skate with it? So we got those cool clips with the flips in between. I was really stoked on that. And then I was like, oh, let's see what else I could do with it. Got the double, got the crisscross. And you know, this was kind of a fun day. All I remember from this day is that my friends really wanted to go to the beach. So they kind of rushed me a little bit to finish this clip. I probably would have done a couple more tricks. But then we did end up going to the beach. And it was a cool video. The official account at Instagram ended up posting that, and they have 500 million followers, so that was pretty cool too. Number 4, I was out street skating with my friends and I filmed this clip for my video part, hippie jump into this really narrow bank out in Geelong in Australia. So I was pretty hyped on that, but then I thought, this spot's so cool, maybe there's something else I could add to it. So I really like the idea of this bar to baby hubba under there. So I thought maybe I could swing under the bar and kind of like 5-0 the hubba. So what kept happening was I was kind of like tail sliding and not really 5-0ing, and absolutely wearing away my tail too, I might add. But, you know, I kind of saw the vision that it was going to work and then landed a couple sketchy 5-0s, and then I got the clean one. This clip ended up making it onto Skate Line, which is really cool. Shout out to Gary Rogers, the OG, but that was a fun one. Number 3, out in Australia near Ringwood area we were skating, and I found this steel pole. So it's solid steel and then it was filled with concrete. So because it was so heavy, I could actually manage to stay on a slide on it. So I'm just trying to do this kind of no slide pop over type thing. But it was quite scary because like if my hand or my leg goes under this thing, it's literally heavy enough that it might just break my fingers or like roll my ankle. So I was a little bit nervous trying to do this, but it did kind of tend to work out. I didn't really get clipped apart from that one where I hit it. But yeah, this was really fun because every single time I had to push this thing back up the hill, and it's so heavy, it took really a long time. And then it was fun to kick it to get it rolling at the start. So I did land the no slide pop over a few times, but I thought it would be funny if I do a no slide, get in front of it, then sort of stop and then ollie over it. But see, I was having trouble like stopping in a nice way, and I was trying to power slide, but then I kept ending up putting my foot down. I really didn't like how I put my foot down to stop, but if I power slide, I kind of wouldn't be in the position in time enough. So I was kind of just trying to figure out like what I actually wanted to do with this. But I just kept with it and kept going with it, and then eventually we got the clip that I was hyped on. Number 2. Now, this is probably one of my favorite ones, the pipe toss. William Spencer did this back in the day, and ever since I saw it, I was like, that is the coolest thing ever. If I ever find a spot like this, I'm gonna do it. So one time we were out skating at a real spot, and on the way, I happened to find a beautiful pipe that looked just big enough that I could perform this William Spencer pipe toss trick. So at first, I was really trying to just do this as an exact parody. I even put the camera angle the same. I'm trying to figure out my feet and positioning the same, so I'm like throwing it identical to how he does. So initially I was trying to get this to land in the bank, and then I land in the bank, but it didn't quite end up like that. But you know, it was okay. I was just trying to figure it out, just like really trying to see how I had to throw it. So what was interesting about this is if I threw the board too close to the edge, it wouldn't shoot back out, and if I threw it too close to the other side of the pipe, it will get trapped in the pipe and just loop around. And again, the pipe wasn't quite as big as Williams, so I really had to be like super precise on when the wheels touch the pipe. But it was really kind of a fun trick to figure out. Like, people don't really like tricks where your feet are on the ground, but you know, I mean, this is more just like a party trick than like a skate trick. But I will say this is probably the most viral video that I've ever been a part of, because people just constantly are just posting this and reposting this like almost every single day. And I think it's because when I made it vertical, I put it on a loop, and people couldn't quite figure out if it's real or fake because they saw the motion blur, and then when they see it in the loop like this, they kind of get confused if it is real or if it is fake. But that was definitely a fun one of my favorite clips for sure. That brings us to number 1. This is my old local skate park in Reservoir, Australia. It is such a random obstacle. It is this long round rail with kind of like a kicker at the end, but it's not a kink, it's a smooth bump. So I always thought this was cool. People often skate the rail and just go over the bump and like survive the bump, but I was like, no, this is a kicker, this is not a bump. So I was trying to wrap the impossible out of this crook. So I guess technically what this would be called is a crooked grind to nollie late impossible, or to nollie front foot impossible, something like that. But this trick was really hard. These are only the close attempts. This took me like 2 days of trying for like a few hours each day. But it was just such a cool obstacle and such a cool trick that as soon as I got the idea that it would be possible for me to do, I was so excited, and I just was not going to stop until I did it. And this is probably the trick that I'm most proud of in all of my skating, honestly. When I landed this, literally every single skate-related thing on social media posted it. Barracks posted it, Transworld posted it, Thrasher posted it, even Shane O'Neill feed posted it. So that was really cool for me because back then I didn't have any kind of following, and I was just hyped on this crazy trick. Let me know if you like this style of video and if I should do more list videos, maybe craziest injuries, craziest boards. Let me know in the comments, and I'll see you in the next one.